Let's wait on YouTube. Yes. And we back. We back once again. Let me do some administration first. Notifying the world that I'm live. Just like this. Publiceren. Publiceren. Publish is what it means. All right, so today a premiere, right? Because for the people that following this channel, that following me, they know we are creating a blockchain from scratch in Golang, a complete blockchain from scratch, from a blank page, nothing, nada. And we are in a decent stage looking, let's fucking go, Interstellar. One of the core members of the high value engineers. It is what it is. Man. Okay. So we are building this blockchain in Golang, and I was thinking maybe we should add our own currency, but that's too easy. That's way too easy. Everybody knows that. So what we're gonna do instead, we're gonna add our own currency, and we're gonna add a native implementation of NFTs into the chain. And what do I mean by that? Instead of using smart contracts to program NFTs, because smart contracts have a lot of issues, a lot of bugs. People are getting scammed each day because they need to be written by humans, and humans make mistakes. It is what it is. So why don't we let our blockchain completely understand what an NFT is, what a collection is, what minting is, what an auction is? If we can implement that natively into the blockchain, we have a native implementation of NFTs ourselves. That would be nice. So first of all, let's make run. That's the first thing we do to check the status of our blockchain. So we have, I think, 3 or 4 nodes booted up, and they are communicating with each other. They are posting transactions. We have one validated because we don't have a consensus algorithm yet. We're gonna do that. And you see everything is kind of working perfectly fine. So we're gonna implement these NFTs into the blockchain. Well, we're gonna try at least to see how far we come. And let me see the status of YouTube, because it's not the first time I streamed for nobody. And I need to delete my code and restream everything. Yes. That happened multiple times. What's going on? All right, so basically, let's open up. So how are we gonna do this? So we have, let's see transaction first, transaction. Because everything is going to happen with transactions, right? So right now we have a transaction. It has a data, which is any arbitrary slice of bytes. And we are using this right now to, let me open up VM. We have our own little VM, little and cute VM, which we use to read the bytes, read the data, and we can do some small instructions with it. We're gonna this VM, well, we're not gonna delete it, we're gonna put it aside, because we're gonna use this data for NFTs. So how are we going to implement this thing? Well, I had some ideas in my mind. Man, it's still chicken from dinner somewhere in my body. So we have one transaction, but what we need is basically, we need different types of transactions. So what I would say is, let's first make a TX type. That's going to be a uint8, which is actually the same as byte, right? Let's take byte. That's clean. We're going to say const. What's going on? We're going to say const TX type. Still need to warm up. TX type collection. TX type collection is going to be a TX type, and that's iota. What does that mean? That basically means that everything we gonna place below this constant is going to get incremented. So this TX type is a byte, which basically means this is going to be 0 bytes, 0 actually. And if we say TX type collection, we need also a mint, right? So TX type mint, like this, TX type is going to be 1, if that makes sense. And everything we place below going to get incremented. That's a special way to handle enums in Go. I know it's not the way we used to, but it is what it is. Sometimes we need to take it like a man and deal with it. So we need a collection, because we are going to make a transaction. We're going to make a collection of our NFTs. For example, I want to make a collection of bored apes. I'm going to create a post. I'm going to send a transaction describing my collection. Once that is done, I can mint inside of that collection, if that makes sense. So we need a collection. Man, collection TX is going to be a strict. We also need a mint TX, and the question is what I think I'm going to put collection on top. Let's say we're going to attach fees, because a lot of people are asking, a lot of people on Twitter asking for 0 fees. And that makes no sense at all, because the world is not free. You need to, people need to learn this, because there are even NFT marketplaces that have no fees. And the question is why? What is your revenue? I mean, what is your business model, right? The world is not free. People need to understand that. So we are going to add a fee. If you want to place a collection, you are going to pay a little fee. I think that's normal, because it does not need to be the fee for the chain, so to speak. It could be a fee that can be distributed for royalties and so on. You can do a lot of things with this fee, right? But if you want to distribute rewards in some kind of a way, you need to have some money, and we could use a portion of that fee to distribute to the creators, right? To the artists. Because we are the Robin Hoods, right? We steal from the rich and we give to the poor. So we're also going to say metadata. That's important. Metadata. Going to be a slice of bytes. Man, what is going on? All right. All this talking, all this streaming, getting to get it stole. So we're going to say a fee. We're going to say a metadata to describe our collection. Maybe some, I don't know, a little description. It's a slice of bytes, so it's very, very generic. We can do whatever we want with it. So that's good. Collection TX. We're also going to make a mint TX, which is basically what we're going to use if you want to mint some NFT on the chain. Also a fee. In 64. We're also going to create the NFT itself, which is going to be a typespent hash, dot hash. So what is an NFT? Well, that's a good question. An NFT is basically an agreement. And now you're basically wondered why I'm saying this, but an NFT is nothing more than just a piece of bytes, right? And it could be anything. But the core of this foundation is that an NFT is an agreement of people, of multiple people, that this hash, bytes, whatever you want to call it, has value. or represent something that has value. Just the same as money, right? Because money isn't real. Money is something we believe. It's a belief system. It's the same thing with NFTs, which does not mean it's bad. That's not what I'm saying. It's just an agreement of people that something has value, right? Could be a JPEG, could be a piece of real estate, it could be a body part, you know, whatever. You can be creative. So we need to have this NFT inside of this MintTX because we need to have something to represent it. And if this is a JPEG, we could simply hash the bytes of the JPEG and use that hash as the representation of the token, as the representation of the NFT, right? We'll be using IPFS to store our metadata. No, because I never was a big fan. IPFS is a nice piece of technology, but storing, I mean, let's say you have an NFT. Do you care it's on IPFS or not? Do you care? I don't care. I had an ape. Not a bored ape, a mutant. I had a mutant. I'm not that rich. I had a mutant and I didn't care if it was on IPFS. I don't care. I opened up my OpenSea and it was there. And that was the only thing I needed to know. Right? It was the only thing I needed to know. Because if you think about it, we believe. We don't care, right? I mean, I believe Facebook. I believe that Facebook takes good care of my pictures. Where are they? I don't know. Do they need to be decentralized? I don't think so. I don't care. The only thing that matters is that the only thing that matters in all this crypto, and this this can maybe cause some controversial pitchforking stuff, but it's dark, so it's hard to find me. But it's everything is about believing stuff, right? It's about an agreement. That's the thing. What is real and what is not, nobody knows. So we have this MintTX, a fee. We have an NFT. Yes, we also need. What do we need? We need a collection. We need a collection, which is also a types hash. Why do we need this collection? Because if I want to mint something, I need to provide in which collection I want to mint. And I always compare this with the chicken and his eggs. And it's classic me. It's classic my analogies, right? But a chicken has a nest, right? It first makes a nest. It takes this whole week to make a beautiful nest. And then it's going to hatch. It's going to put eggs into this nest. And it's going to hatch them. That's the same thing we do. We make a nest, a collection for our NFTs. And then we are going to hatch them into the nest. If that makes sense. It's the same thing. So we're going to make a collection and then we're going to mint them. So before we actually can mint something, we need to know what is the collection, right? So we're going to say this, we're going to give it a types hash. So we can check later on in the blockchain, in our storage, if this collection exists. And we also can check, and that's something that will come right now. We also need the collection owner, which is going to be a crypto, public key, and a signature. That's sure. It's going to be a crypto signature. Why? Because if I want to mint something, I need to make sure that the collection owner agreed upon this. Nobody else can mint. It's the same with the chicken, right? There is not a chicken from another neighborhood that comes into the nest and hatch the eggs. That's not gonna happen. It's the chicken that laid the eggs that's gonna hatch it. Man, somebody needs to clip this. And that's the same thing. So we need the collection owner and we need the signature. And of course, we need to have some metadata, right? Which is byte. For example, maybe it's it could be some kind of a JPEG with some traits, whatever you're gonna traits is not it's not a good pronounce. I think it's traits, or maybe a game asset, right? And you wanna specify some values about it. So that's going to be in the metadata. And let me quickly check if that is okay. So we have the fee, the NFT, the collection, metadata, collection owner, signature. That's good for now. Okay, so how are we going to distribute this? How are we going to send that to a node? And how is this blockchain going to interact with this thing? Well, that's the next problem we need to solve. So we already have a transaction, right? So if we send a transaction, our blockchain knows what it is. It can process this. It knows, it can decode it. It can encode it. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this data object, although we're not going to use it, but for backwards compatibility, works. Hello, welcome back. How is your day? How is your evening? Or maybe how is your morning? I don't know. Or something in between, right? I hope you are doing well. So what we're gonna say, first of all, we're gonna say type, which is a TX type. So we can actually, once we have a transaction in the blockchain, we can check the type. And maybe we don't need it. We will see, because we can do a little trick. We're gonna say a TX inner is gonna be any. Any is the same as interface in Go. Well, it's the same as in Go 117. In 117 there was no generics, or in 116 I don't know anymore. I think 117 any was basically non-existing, but now it's any. I like it. I like it. So a TX inner. And in this TX inner, we're gonna put a collection TX or a min TX, if that makes sense. But you will see. It was great. It's night here. Same here. Well, night, evening, something. Okay. First of all, we're gonna do a transaction test real quick to see if this is gonna work. Transaction test like this. You're gonna say func test new transaction like this, t testing t. Well, actually new transaction, that's not good. NFT transaction, I don't know, it's just for testing. So we're gonna copy some stuff. We're gonna say private key. We're gonna yoink this whole shebang. This data is not needed. We're gonna say the TX type is going to be a TX type collection, because that's the first thing we need to do, is create a collection. So we're gonna quickly try. Well, we're gonna try to encode it, and if that works, we're gonna send it to our nodes. Oof. TX type collection. We're gonna say let's first make collection TX is going to be a collection TX. A fee, I don't know yet, it doesn't matter. 200 watt, I have no clue. We need to figure that out. We also need the metadata, right? Metadata, byte. The beginning of a new collection. Okay. We're going to say TX inner is going to be this collection TX. It's not TX type, it's type. Then we're going to say TX sign with the priv key. I'm going to sign this. Then we're going to say if r gop new encoder, need a buffer, is going to be a new bytes buffer, buff in here, encode here. That's going to be this transaction. Check the error. And we can say, are we using assert null? Wait, what we're gonna do? We're gonna not good. We're gonna say assert null t this. Okay, so everything is encoded into the buff. So if we want to see if this works, so what I want to do is I'm going to take a transaction, we're going to forge it, we're going to encode it, and then we're going to decode it back into a transaction and going to see if we can, if it works. And if that works, we can send it over the network. And that will save us a lot of hashes. If something is wrong, we will know it right now and not later. Okay, so we're going to say TX decoded is going to be a transaction. I'm going to copy this real quick and we're going to change this to new decoder. The same thing, buff, but we're going to say decode. And we're going to decode the TX decoded. And then we're going to say, actually, assert. Wait, first of all, I want to see what's inside. Print f verbose, like this, plus v, new line, TX decoded, like this. Let's run it. Oh yeah, I see. So GOP, which is basically a standard, is a decode and encoding mechanism in the standard library of Golang. I wouldn't recommend to use this in production, but for testing or quick projects or educational projects, you can use it. It saves you a lot of time. In production, you would use proto buffers or something. Actually, you should use proto buffers. That's the industry standard. So it tells us, the error is already gone. So it tells us basically that we need to register an interface because this any, you see this any, is actually not a type, it's an interface. It could be anything. So we need to register this with the GOP encoding. So we're going to say GOP register collection TX, and we're also going to register the min TX. And you need to specify it like this, I guess. Don't we have a min TX? Yes, we have. All right, let's see if this works. Yes. So type is 0, which is perfect. TX inner, that was the thing I was looking for. It's basically encoded. So the fee is 200, and then we have this metadata, which is basically a bunch of bytes, which is the beginning of a new collection. So now we are safe. We can actually say, to make this test complete, we can say assert equal t, tx and tx decoded. And run it again. Oh no. That's bad news. Yeah, I see what's going on. My eagle eyes already spotted the issue, which is actually not an issue. So what happens is, this TX inner, we specify a pointer here. But GOP, when it decodes, it basically don't decode this as a pointer. So then we don't give it a pointer, right? I mean, then we don't make it by reference, right? Easy. So cool. Now, the interesting part. But before, let me quickly check some status. All right, cool. So now what we're gonna do is we are actually gonna send a transaction. We're gonna process it. We're gonna store our collection, and then we're gonna mint some cool things. And man, this is never been done before on the internet. Not on Udemy, not on YouTube, never. It's premiere. Like all my videos, right? It's a premiere. Nobody is doing this stuff. Where do we need? First of all, main. We're going to main. Why? Because we are booting up servers here, nodes here. We are creating here, this TX sender. This is basically a piece of code, testing code, which is sending transactions. And I think it's sending them every second. So every second, once the nodes are booted up, we are sending transactions to simulate human behavior. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna delete this data. Actually, it could stay, but we're gonna say TX inner is going to be an core collection TX. So let's create a first collection. Why not? Fee 200. I don't know why. Yeah, and then we're going to say metadata, which is going to be my NFT collection. And if you guys have any preferences, let me know. Then I will name this collection in what you want. So I was thinking we need actually the public key of the creator, but that's probably going to be the public key that's attached in the parent transaction. But that has some problems. Let me open up transaction. Chicken and egg collection. Jared. You pay attention, I see it. You pay attention. What do you think of my analogy of the chicken and his nest and his eggs? I think it's insane. So the problem is, well, there is no problem. So let's say I create a collection and we assume that the owner of the collection is the public key of the main transaction, right? The parent, right? Because we have from is basically the one that sent the transaction, and the signature is basically the signature of the one that signed this transaction with his private key. So we could assume that the collection owner is this guy, the from. But what if you want to make this, what if there are marketplaces, custom marketplaces built in Next.js or in whatever shit framework, but Next.js is pretty good. I use it all the time. And they want to basically build on top of our blockchain. They could, right? but they cannot send the transaction themselves. Can they do that with MetaMask? They probably can, right? Or with some, I'm thinking real quick. Can I send a transaction in a behalf of somebody else? Yes, I can. So it's all good. Well, I cannot send it in behalf of somebody else, but I mean, I can ask. That's the same thing what MetaMask does, right? MetaMask asks us to unlock our wallet and to sign a transaction, and then we send it to the node. And we think it's basically MetaMask is infrastructure sending it, but actually we are doing that. If that makes sense. Maybe it's a little bit complicated, but so it's good. Collection TX, we don't need a public key because we have it from the transaction itself. That's all I need to know. Chicken and egg collection. Okay, so I'm gonna run this and nothing will happen because we're not processing it, right? But I just want to see if nothing else interferes. You see, it interferes. I know what it is. It's the VM. It's the VM trying to run code that does not exist. So this will work, but it does not make sense. We're gonna fix this. If I do make run, it will work. Yes, we see everybody has 4 transactions. So I'm gonna do this. You're gonna say no. You're gonna open up blockchain. I'm finding our VI here it is. So we could actually make this compatible with N bytecode and NFTs. It's insane. We can do everything we want. That's the beauty of engineering. That's the beauty of software engineering. You're Bob Ross. You are literally Bob Ross, and you can do whatever you want. You can paint these beautiful happy trees wherever you want, whenever you want, right? There was a time when I watched, before I went to sleep, I put on Twitch and I watched Bob Ross, his live streams on Twitch. Even though he was already dead, but there was like a replay on Bob Ross. I think it still exists. I don't know. I'm a very energetic person with a very busy mind. And this guy could make me relax. Although he's an amateur, he's not an amateur painter, but he's focused on amateur painters, right? But he takes his pencil and he doing some things, and it transforms into a landscape. It's amazing. It's, oh my God, a new world opens for me. Bob Ross, insane. All right, that joke beside shenanigans. We're gonna say that if the TX data, if the length of the TX data is bigger than 0, right? Then we're gonna process it. So that means that if we give it data, it will process it. If we don't give it data, it will do nothing. We don't have any errors. So I could do this, nil, and it should work. It should all work. And it is. Cool. So, back to blockchain. Otherwise, this, that should be good. So what we're gonna do, we have this transaction, we're gonna say switch tx inner type. All right, this for new Golang, people that are new to Golang or people that have not as much experience in Golang, this switch statement is one of my favorites. And what it does is basically it switches on the underlying type of a data structure, of a struct. And what I mean by that is, I will finish this so you can understand it a little bit better. Case, collection takes, case, min takes, default. We're not gonna panic, right? Because we are not going to suffer from people their mistakes. We could do printf unsupported tx type t. So what it does is basically, as we know, I'm gonna open up transaction on the other side of the screen. Transaction. So we have this transaction, we have this tx inner, which is an any. So that basically means it could be any type, it could be anything, literally anything. So what we could do, if we switch on the type, we could check what type it actually is. If that makes sense. So if it's a collection TX, we're gonna do collection TX stuff. If it's a mint, we're gonna do mint stuff. And default means if every case did not match, like your Tinder, we're gonna execute. This is actually a good one. I know. It came on the top of my head. So we're gonna execute this default, right? Yes. Okay, so collection TX. First of all, let's panic if it works. We're gonna say collection TX right here. Boom, collection TX right here. Good, which basically means we are sending a transaction. We put it in a mempool at a certain point of time. Our validator says it's time to commit a block. He's going to validate the whole shebang, put all these transactions inside the block, seal the block, sign the block, and broadcast the block to every other node in our network. And then we get this panic because this logic only gets executed when a block is being committed, forged, validated, stamped. And that's actually beautiful. It's beautiful that we can actually build on top of things we already have and it just works out of the bat. It's, I don't know. It's amazing. Okay. No more coffee. Unfortunate. So what are we going to do when we have a collection TX? Well, not much. The only thing we need to do is to save that collection. So the collection is already in a transaction, so that's sealed, it's in a block, so nobody can alter with it. It's going to be on the blockchain forever. But we need to store it. This is important because if we are going to do a mint, we're going to look the collection up. So we're gonna, normally you would store this inside of It's always a good practice to store states, especially in blockchains and cryptographical, crypto-related stuff, into Patricia trees, Radix trees, Merkle trees. These actually are specific data structures with some semantics, but I think if we use a map or something for now would be good. Because if you store them inside of those Patricia, Merkle, Radix trees, you can actually have a nice cryptographical validation of the whole tree. So now I need to think how we're going to store this. Do we have storage or something? Yes. Oei. That's well, actually, collection state, it's a map types hash, I think, and then we should do something like collection takes. And we're gonna improve this over time. It's just something that comes up in the top of my mind. Collection state, which is the state of the collections, is going to be make map types hash Ice Bear. Hi man, how you doing? Welcome on my channel. Glad to have you here. Types hash pointer to collection takes. So if you don't know what we are doing, we are building a complete blockchain from scratch in Golang, which we are doing for quite a while now. And I was thinking to add our own currency attached to our blockchain so we can actually send transactions, which we already can, but we have no currency. But I came up with the idea, why don't we use NFTs as native citizens into our blockchain? Instead of using smart contracts to determine and to auction and to sell them and to mint them, why don't we program that natively into a blockchain so we can eliminate all the human errors being made by smart contracts, which is... The thing is, smart contracts give us so much power, and with power comes great responsibilities, and that's the problem, right? Because everybody thinks he's a Web3 smart contract developer, and you build protocols and you get scammed because there are some leaks. And I think if you can build that in natively into a chain, it could eliminate a lot of these human errors. But this is definitely not the project to put in production. I just want to ask, how can I be consistent on programming? Two things, two important things. One, you need to program every day. Three things actually. So one, program every day and only program what you like, right? If you like gaming, program a game. It doesn't matter. And only learn what you need. Also very important, because if you're gonna learn a complete language from A to Z, you're gonna quit. Two, you need to subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna teach you a lot of stuff, trust me, and I will keep you motivated. And three, don't listen to tech Twitter. But the main case, you need to program a lot. That's with everything in life, right? The much hours you put into it, the better you will be. That's what it is. Practice makes perfect. And don't be afraid to try, right? Just do things. Just do it and you will see where you come. And don't listen to a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of people on Twitter because they are lying to you and they are lying to you. All right? If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm happy to answer. So, yeah, state, that's the thing. So we are making this collection state. It's all working. Thanks, man. That helps a lot. I already subscribed. You're the best. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, man. And don't get me wrong, there are some good people on Twitter, there are some good people on YouTube, but a lot of these people are view attention whores, promising you the world, giving you tips, and that doesn't make any sense. I mean, and they have 200k followers. That's insane. That makes me so pissed. All right, so everything is set up, man. Everything is set up to do what we need to do. So what we're gonna do is are we gonna store the hash of the transaction or the hash of the collection? I think the hash of the transaction. TX hash. I think it's a TX hasher we need like this. Then we're gonna say blockchain collection state hash equals T as a pointer, so we say NT, right? This is not a pointer, this is just that structure, and this is boom. Right now it's a reference. Right now it points to a memory address of 8 bytes. So you can actually dump as much data inside of your struct as you want, but you will still have 8 bytes in memory. That's the power of pointers, but it also comes with great responsibility. I have no knowledge of programming. I work as a health worker. I hate it. Man, a health worker is a pretty important job, I'm not gonna lie. So thanks for helping us if we are in need, whatever it may be. But one of my best tips I can give you is if you don't like to do something, just don't do it. And my girlfriend hates that sentence because I'm literally just that guy. If I don't like to do something, I just don't do it. If they ask me to go to fucking IKEA, I just don't do it. I hate it. So why should I do it, right? It's my life. And then she's mad at me. But I just don't do it. And that's the same thing. If you don't like your job, quit your job and do something else that makes you happy. You only have a certain time to live, my friend. Remember that. Time is the most important thing you have in your life. And you cannot waste it by doing things you don't like. Right? Of course, if your grass is too high, you need to cut it, right? But otherwise, but you know what I mean, right? And that's the mistake a lot of people make. They are stuck in their miserable life, hating every Monday, cheering every Friday evening. That's not the life I want to live, right? So you're at the right place at the right time. Instead of watching Netflix, you watch the streams, you code, and once you feel comfortable, you quit your job and you make something nice, okay? That's the plan, promise me. So BC collection state hash is this, cool. Yes, make run. Actually, let's do some logging that we know what's going on. And if I can motivate you, I was a mechanical engineer. Engineer is a big word. I studied mechanics. So the only thing I did was basically making things with my hands, and I hated it. I hated it so hard. I don't even know why my parents put me in that school. So I quit at 18, and I did a lot of things. Trust me, if I'm gonna tell you exactly how my life went, you would never believe me. You would say you're a joker. Stop lying to me. That's why I'm not gonna tell you, because you won't believe it. But the main part is, you can be anything you want. Anything, literally anything. And don't let anyone or anybody tell you otherwise. I think I should start a motivational channel. What do you think? A motivational channel. We're gonna log. We're gonna say, do we have a logger? BC? Yes, we have. Logger, log, created new collection. Let's make it more fancy. NFT collection. We're gonna say what are you gonna say? Create a new NFT collection. Maybe a hash. We can't do that. The logger is something special, right? What kind of logger do we have? It's the GoKit logger. The worst. It's a good logger, but it's a little bit annoying to format things. Where are we? Here. You should just start, exactly. It is start simple. And don't learn everything. That's the biggest mistake. So don't open up a course, for example, Python from starter to expert or something, from A to Z. Don't do that, never. You just, the thing you're gonna do before you go to sleep, you think, what are my interests? What do I like? Oh, I like gaming. So you make a game. The next morning, you wake up, you open up your computer, how to make a game, type it in Google, in Python or in Go or whatever. And you start by opening an editor, install that editor. How do I make a Python project? Look that up, make a Python project. How do I assign a variable? Look that up, assign a variable. I want to give health to my character. Oh, I need to assign a variable health and give it 100. How do I attack? How do I make a function attack? And you build that up. You build it up like that. Because in a certain point of time, you're going to see your character attacking, well, not seeing, maybe just in a terminal-based. It does not need to be a 3D game. It can just be a terminal-based game, right, with just text. But once you see things on the screen that your character is attacking, even it's text, you're going to get excited because what the hell, I just made this, right? Although it's simple, right? But you build that up. You build that up, man. Could you make a video what is the right path to become a programmer? Man, I think I have some videos about that. Not sure. I have some videos about that. Check it out. BC Logger, create a new NFT collection. Hash. It's not gonna work. Is it? I don't think this logger can handle these formats. Make run. Yeah, it logs, but you see the format is wrong. So I think it's this. So I'm gonna say MSG. Like this, hash, man, Visual Studio. Okay, I'm checking now. Yeah, you should do it. It's very simple. It's 5 best tips for programming, and I also have a little short about what language should you learn. And one guy disliked that. There's always that guy, right? There's always a guy that needs to dislike something. And I don't know why. Probably because Rust was not in the languages or something, or Lua was not in it, you know. Everybody is a fan, right? Everybody has his own fan language and they are mad. But I have only 60 seconds in a short, so I cannot. Yeah, NFT, yeah. Okay, cool. Maybe some, yeah, that's good. Make run. Created new NFT collection, that's the hash. And for some reason we have different hashes, which is bad. Bad news. Oh yeah, of course, because we are making new transactions. Yeah, it's fine. So normally this transaction should actually repeat on another node. Remote B executing code. Remote node. Yeah, it is. New. You see this hash is the same as this one. So it's all good. So the next step is to make a mint takes, and then if we're gonna make that mint takes and we send that, we're gonna check if our state actually has that collection, and then in this way we're gonna test it. We could also, let me quickly check my cell phone because people are stalking me. So you could actually also make tests, but the problem is, how do you test a complete blockchain? So you could make unit tests, which we have a lot of tests, but sometimes it's faster to show and to see and to debug if things work in a whole. Which does not take away that we don't need to write any unit tests for this. But yeah, because we have a lot of. We have some tests. Cool, MintTX. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up transaction. We're gonna mint in our collection. Our collection is the chicken and egg. We're gonna mint something. And we should check the fees and everything. Yes, that's true, that's true. But first things first. I'm gonna copy this. No, actually, main. Transaction. Transport. Like this. Take sender. So we already sent this takes inner. We're gonna mint a limited edition. We're gonna mint a limited edition of 200 or 100. Let's start with 50. With 50 pieces of our chicken and egg collection. That's what we're gonna do. And if that is okay and it's on the chain, then we're gonna make a little API with our JSON server, which we implemented a couple of days ago, so we can retrieve information about the collection. So we know that we can create collections, we can mint NFTs inside of it, and then probably in one of the next episodes, we're gonna trade them. And then we have our own marketplace. Man, this is exciting, it's insane. It's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna delete this inner. Wait, we need that because we don't persist, right? We reboot the whole shebang. Wait, we're gonna do like this. Create collection takes. Like this, we're gonna yoink basically everything. Put it inside here, delete this. We make a private key. And we need to be careful. We need this private key because if we're going to mint, we need the same key. So we need to do something like... I'm going to do something very stupid. Do I have the ability to... Crypto. Damn it. I have an idea. The biggest idea. So we're going to say priv key. It's going to be a crypto private key like this. We're going to move this in the main. Oh, we already have a priv key. And that's the priv key of our validator. Validator priv key. Validator priv key like this. Yeah. Where is TX? We're gonna say collection owner priv key. It's going to be a crypto generate priv key. We're gonna put that collection over priv key inside of this function. Yeah. It's a pointer. We're gonna sign that transaction with the priv key, of course. And if something is not clear, just ask. No worries. Or leave it in the comments or join the Discord where we can hang out and chat and learn about this amazing technology. Why is this not... I see. It doesn't want a pointer. Then we give him what he wants, and then... Man, are you telling me that this returns a pointer? No? What's going on then? Oh, yeah, I see. That's for later. Let's first do this. So we make this chicken and egg collection. Hey man, I watched it, and the thing is that I learned Python for 1 month and couldn't find how to use or make anything with it. That's mean I learned nothing. I see. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know what kind of tutorial you followed, but normally if you watch, you know what, just join the Discord, right? Do me a favor, join the Discord, send me a DM, and I will send you some good resources, right? That's what I'm gonna do. Because right now it's kind of, but join the Discord, send me a DM. Actually, I don't think you can send me a DM because we are not friends. Send me a friend request or just DM me, add me, do something to poke me, and we will chat. We will chat behind the scenes, right? That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make you into a savage engineer, into a high value engineer. I promise. Okay. I need to find my pace back. Okay, this private key collection. That's true. I was thinking actually, what if we want to limit our collection? For example, let's say we want to make a collection and we say it can only be 500. There is no way to do that. We could do that. We could make in this collection, we could make a max mint or something. So you see there are a lot of things we can do, right? But for now, we don't need it. We're gonna send that transaction all good. And this TX sender is basically NFT minter. I like that, NFT minter. We're gonna say priv key. It's going to be a crypto priv key, private key, like this. Weg, away this. TX inner is not going to be a core collection. It's going to be a mint. Mint TX. Fee, we need to sleep about that, right? Sometimes, do you guys do this sometimes when you go to sleep and you think about something? You're basically engineering in your head. I have this all the time. Thanks, man. Motivates me a lot. Yeah, man. I promise. Just find a way to send to not. The most important thing is with me is that you need to find a way to remind me. Yeah. Maybe in general or something, just add me and I will add you as a friend and I will send you some good resources. Some simple steps. That's the value you get if you want, if you here with the high value engineers, buddies, coding friends, builders. Sign. Okay, cool. Mint X, that's not true. Metadata, yeah, metadata is cool. So we could do something like, it's just a byte slice, but you could, I mean, what you could do is, you know what? Let's make it a little bit legit. Type. You know what? I have an idea. Sometimes it comes like this. Actually, metadata is going to be a map string. Actually, any. Power. Eight. Health. 100. Right? And yeah, of course, we need to make new things. I mean, yeah. It's gonna take a lot of work to prove my point. It doesn't matter. We're gonna give them the same threads just for now. But you know, we could make a for loop and then iterate a number or something, or get a random number. You know, I know you know. This is just to prove a point that we can put anything in metadata, although it's a slice of bytes, right? Let's do, I don't know, color. Green. Rare. Yes. All right, so metadata, done. Then we need to look at this. New bytes buffer. Trust me, this buffer in Golang, bytes buffer is your best friend. Trust me, buffer man. If you can juggle with buffers, you're a god. So we're gonna say if r is JSON new encoder, the buff encode the metadata, and I don't think I need to pass it as a reference, to be honest. R is not nil, like this. We're gonna say, you know what? We're gonna panic, right? Just panic. So now we have a buff, and then we're gonna say this metadata is gonna be the buff bytes. Done. Metadata fixed. Metadata fixed. So what do we need? Inner. Let me see in this transaction because I forgot what we all need to specify for this boy. Data collection. The collection. Very important. Damn it. We don't have the collection ID. Yes, we do. Collection. Types hash. What's going on? NFT minter. So wait, because it's getting complicated for myself, I'm not gonna lie. First, one, create the collection. That's gonna be create collection takes. Collection over priv key. Okay. And let's say that returns us the collection hash. All right. And then we're gonna say take sender. That's NFT minter. The collection owner priv key. And what if somebody else wants to mint? Good question. I don't know. I joined Discord. Thanks, man. I will check. I will check after stream for sure. I will not forget you, Ice Bear. Collection owner priv key. Then we're gonna say the collection hash. Yeah, used as value. I know, man. Hey, give me some time. Create collection. Types hash. Like this. And then we have this hash here. So what we're gonna do, and we could actually return an error, not gonna lie. We'll do it later on. TX hash. Or TX hasher, call it a day. We could say that the hash of the collection is not the same as a transaction hash. That is maybe a better approach. Because we don't hash, the implementation we have right now, we don't hash the inner TX, right? We only hash, I think, the nonce and the data. So we need to fix that also. But let's just keep things going so we can have something, exciting, and then we can make it better, and we can make it more secure. You know, that's the way I roll. I trigger your reward system, keep pumping in that dopamine in your brain, and then you do a little bit of fixing, a little bit of making things better, and then you go back for this reward system, and then you go back to some testing and some fixing, and then you make a good balance so you can keep getting the interest of the project. Because if you want to make your project pinpoint precise from the first time, your dopamine levels will be non-existent and you will quit. And that's a word we don't know at this channel. In this community, we don't know the word quit. The only thing we know is quitting our editor at the end of a very productive day. Okay, so yeah, we return the hash. We have the collection hash, so we're gonna say NFT minter, mint me some NFTs. And actually I have a much better idea for the metadata, but what's going on with this buffer suddenly? Oh, we already have a buffer. Metabuff. Metabuff. All right. Mintex metadata. Collection is going to be the collection hash. Collection. The collection. Just like that. We need a collection owner as a public key. Fixed. Signature. We need to find, we're gonna sign, we're gonna fix signing this transaction very soon. We're gonna fix that. Because let's do nil. Why is it not possible? The thing is, so if you send a transaction, you always need to sign it, right? Because we need to verify if you are the one sending it. But I'm also requiring the signature of the collection owner, which is actually the same thing, is the same owner as the guy sending the transaction. And I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Anyway, don't fill this signature in for now. I know it's key. It's key in crypto. I know. But to be honest, it's key, but we already have the signature, right? So we requesting that the guy signed this transaction, the whole shebang, right? The whole shebang. Is the one that sent the transaction. But is it the owner of the collection? That's a good question. Think about this. We need to think about this. We forgot something very important. That's the NFT itself. So what is the NFT? So we have our collection chicken and egg. I have no clue what the NFT is going to be, but let's say it's a JPEG of chicken and eggs. What we should do, what I would recommend to do, is instead of, so what Ethereum does, right? What ETH does, they actually don't have any, if you think about that, they don't have any cryptographical proof. Well, they have proof, but it's hard to explain myself. The thing is, they have a link. You have an agreement. You believe that that token is your ape or your whatever, your kitty thingy. But there are no bytes, right? It's not your kitty, your JPEG is not stored on the blockchain. It isn't, right? It's somewhere on IPFS or whatever. And I was thinking maybe this NFT value inside of this Mintx should be a hash of the bytes of your NFT. So if you have a JPEG, it has X amount of bytes. So a JPEG has X amount of bytes. You hash that with a SHA-256, you have 256 bytes, not 32. And that's your hash. So how can we verify that that NFT, that hash is actually, that JPEG is by, if I want to verify this, I take my JPEG, I hash that, and I compare, right? I hash the bytes of my JPEG and I compare them with this hash. And then you're 100% sure that this is your NFT. That's insane. But the problem is, let's say it's a piece of real estate. How are you going to do that? You cannot hash a piece of real estate. It's impossible, right? So, but then you could say, yeah, this is a contract of that piece of real estate, and we hash the bytes of that contract. So if I want to prove that that piece of real estate is mine, I can take that contract, hash that, and compare the hashes. Something like that, right? And I don't think somebody else is doing it like this, that you actually have some hash of bytes of something that exists, right? Instead of just an agreement that this hash is this JPEG, which is somewhere on IPFS or something. Maybe it's not the best explanation, but it should make some sense. So this should be bytes. This should be a hash. And in this case, I'm gonna do, because we don't have anything, right? It's just for testing. We don't have an NF, we don't have a JPEG, we don't have a contract, bytes, whatever. So I think, can I do a random thingy? Utils, random, util. Do I have util? Random hash as util random hash, like this. Boom. All right, I hope I proved my point. I made my point clear. And if I made a mistake, sometimes I talk too much and talk too fast, and I can make some little mistakes. So please point me on that one. Because I caught a lot when I rewatch my streams, and I think, oh my God, what did I just say? NFT minter. Yes, so what do we need still? Collection over signature, we have everything. Just a signature, but that's something we need to look into. We have metadata, and we're gonna fix this metadata real quick after we test, because now we're actually gonna mint. Let's mint 50 pieces on chain. We have this for loop. But we're gonna say something like for 20. Wait, things are getting 20. And we're gonna sleep 1 second. So it will take 20 seconds. And why do we sleep? Well, sleeping, why do we wait for 1 second? Is because otherwise it will be insanely fast. And does it matter? Probably not. Let's do something like this. I don't know, 500 millisecond. $750, $60, whatever. You are full of motivation, and that's great quality. Hats off. Thanks, man. I much appreciate it. much appreciated, man. That's the reason why I'm doing this, because I get a lot of support from my small little community. And that's the reason that motivates me. You are the reason I'm motivated. Keep that in mind. I'm the reason you're motivated, but you are the reason I'm motivated. So we have, how do you say that? Mutual interests. We mean something for each other, right? Okay, I think it's gonna work. So we're going back to blockchain because we have no way to handle this mint. Mint. Boom. What I want to do first is actually look inside the mint, see what's going on, see if we have everything what we need. Because we have no logic at all, right? We have no verification logic. Although the only thing we check is in our validator is basically if the block is valid, if the transaction is kind of valid, right? If the transaction has, if the signature of the transaction matches the public key, right? And the message is then the hash of the transaction, okay? That we do check, but we don't check anything based on fees or something else, right? But we will do that later on. Mintx. Easy. We're gonna say printf. Man. Printf v. New line. Man, my typing is not on point today. I'm not gonna lie. T. And I don't know what it is, but my Visual Studio Code is lagging more and more. Sometimes it just doesn't move. Maybe it's my keyboard, maybe it's VS Code. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me. Could also be. Not quite sure. Let's see if it's. Let's see. We got mint TX. Let's see if it works. Oh, wait first. Let's double check main real quick. So we create one collection. And then we mint. Okay, cool. All set. All set. Make run. Let's go. Let's go. Got mintx. And that's good, right? Let's stop the logging real quick. So we got this mintx, the fee. That's our NFT, right? This is the hash. But we're creating random hashes, right? So that's good. So we have different NFTs. That's good. We have a collection ID, which is the same collection ID. And we have the same metadata because we are creating the same metadata. That's not good, right? But we fixed that. So, and this is basically replicated, right? So don't underestimate, don't think this is a joke, right? This is, check the previous videos, right? This is getting validated first into the mempool after the block time. After 5 seconds, we have a block time of 5 seconds. We take all the mempool, put them in a block, seal it, sign it, broadcast it, and everybody process the block, put them in the state. It's real shit. This is no cheap to do tutorial you can find on YouTube. This is the real shit. Walking the talk like usual. Now we need to store this thing. First of all, what we're gonna do, blockchain. Let me quickly check the health of this thing. Pretty good. Because sometimes YouTube is dropping frames. The bastard. Blockchain. So we are in mintx. And we should actually make separate functions. For example, if we are in mintx, we could say process mintx. If we are in collection takes, we say process collection takes. So we can make it a little bit more cleaner. But I don't think, because a lot of people they say, that's maybe some little advice. You need to keep your functions as small as possible. Try to split it up, but that's not always the case, because why? Because otherwise it's hard to read if your function is long, and it's not hard to read if your function is spread into 10,000 parts. That's even hard to read, right? I mean, because if you, let's say your function is 70 lines, which is a reasonable length of a function, and people would say, man, this is garbage, your code is bad, it's too long, split it up. But let's say you're reading your function and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and suddenly the function stops, or suddenly it calls something else, and you need to go to that other part, and then that part sends you over to another file. You know how it is, right? That's hard to read, right? So if you have a nice long function, it doesn't really matter as long as it kind of makes sense, right? If it's the same topic, the same synergy, then it can be as long as you want, because it's easy to read. You don't need to move your editor from here to there, if that makes sense. And that's a little bit the problem with engineering today, software engineering. People are not focused anymore at building or at solving problems, but social media is more focused on how your code looks like. That's what they want to focus on. They pinpoint you, like your project manager, your lead engineer is always pinpointing you. Why is your function? It's not clear enough. It's not clean enough. I can't read this and that. They are focusing on all these aesthetic points instead of solving problems together, like the old days. They just want to feel good, you know? I think you have picked up about 50 new subs in the last 2 days. Does it sound correct? A matter of fact, I'm not quite sure how YouTube works, because I'm pretty new at YouTube, to be honest. But I picked up a decent amount of subs, I'm not gonna lie. Although I'm not... I really hate editing YouTube videos, and people recommend to me that I need to make these short, nice videos, edited with jump cuts, but man, I don't like it. It takes so long. So I'm just streaming and doing some video from time to time, and I think I picked up 250 subs in 1 month, which is, I think, okay, but there are people doing better. But like I said before, I'm not here to be a view, how do you say it, a subscription whore. I'm just trying to provide value, and the people that want to take time to watch the videos and want to learn, they will subscribe. And the other ones that are here for cheap dopamine, they will leave, and that's okay, right? It doesn't matter. I'd rather have a small community with tight cut that out. A small community with like-minded people than a big community where, yeah, people are here to joke around, right? If that makes sense. Back to business, because I want to make this work. Because I want to start the auction of these things in the next stream. Okay. Collection. Okay, it's going to be BC. Collection state. BC collection state T collection. So what we're going to do is, we have the collection in our mint. We're going to first check if the mint exists. That's important. Or yeah, that's important, because it could be that the collection has a certain amount of capped mints. Let's say it could only mint 200, and let's implement that is now actually this cap. So if this okay is if okay is false, which basically means we don't have the collection. So we're gonna that's gonna be if okay BC log error collection does not exist on the blockchain. Collection. Does that make sense? No, it's not collection, it's T. So what is T? T is the type we matched on, right? Could be a little bit confusing. T is the type we matched on, and in our case, in case collection TX, it's a collection. In case min TX, it's a min TX structure, if that makes sense. That's the error, and then we should actually break. Yeah, we break out of the switch statement and we call it a day. Actually, we can't. We can't. Because if we break, we will add the block without validation, and that's not true. This is an invalid block, right? And actually, I think we made a little mistake because I want to say that our validator, when he forges a block, he is the first one that's going to process these things, and he cannot broadcast basically when something happens. It makes no sense to broadcast this block, right? It makes sense because there are also other transactions, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, sorry. Sometimes I think thinking out loud, like Ed Sheeran. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna return. I'm still confused what we need to do. I'm still confused because if we return here, this block won't be added. If we return an error, this block won't be added to the chain. And the question is, do we? I think we can add a corrupt TX because it will not alter the state. Something we need to think about. So I'm going to return null. It sounds really nasty, but I need to think about this a little bit more. Actually, we're going to return because we did the same thing with the VM. We're going to say fmt error f. Collection does not exist in a blockchain. Wait. Like this, and then we're going to say error f. Wait, it's going to be something like this. Does not exist on the blockchain. Okay, cool. Hop. And then we say collection. Delete this. Call it a day. Let's log this out here. We're going to say message. Create new NFT mint. NFT is going to be T NFT. And maybe we could say collection is going to be T collection, right? Like this. Okay. Okay, so now we have this collection. What are we going to do? Nothing really actually something. Because the only thing what we're going to do with this collection is check if there are some things we need to check. For example, maybe we need to distribute something, some fee, or maybe we need to check the cap, how many mints we can have, and we need to do some, I don't know, validation. So we're going to do this for now. And what is going on? Probably a wrong format. Yeah. Result not used. I'm confused. Man. All right. I need to go now. It's 1 a.m. Need to sleep. Good night. By the way, where you're from? I'm from Belgium. And I would say very good night. And I will, like I promised, will send you some good resources about Python programming. Like promised, man. Have a nice sleep. Count some sheeps or watch some Twitch. Oh, you're actually basically watching YouTube instead of that. Better choice, better choice. And I see you maybe in one of the streams, man. Take care. We need to store this thing. That's the last thing we need to do. And then we can test this completely. So we have a collection state. Maybe we should store mints. Yes. Mint state. Man. Oh my god, Nightbot. Oh my goodness. Nightbot is deleting Ice Bear's messages. Oh my god, I feel so bad. What is Nightbot doing? Nightbot! What is going on? I need to check Nightbot his permissions or something. His automod. I'm so sorry, Ice Bear. I'm so sorry, man. It's not my. It's Nightbot. No, I think. So what I don't think you guys can see this, but Nightbot basically stop spamming emotes. Warning. That's what Nightbot is telling, and I think Ice Bear sending some emotes. Why is it not working? Emotes. It should work, right? Anyway, I will check this tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Nightbot, you sturdy. You little bastard. Mint state. Mint state. Or something like that. I don't know. Just need to give the child a name. Types a hash. And it's going to be a pointer to a mint tx. That's what it's going to be. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy this and say mint state. Like this. And why is it capitalized? I don't know. Yeah, you have to disable it manually. Well, I think so. I think it's default. Nightbot has default settings. I will check into that. I don't know which emote you send it. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe some emotes are blocked. Maybe they are all blocked. I have no clue, man. Like I said, it's a new thing for me. Bye, man. Types hash. It's going to be a mint tx. Yes. It could be that we need to do some modifications, but it is what it is. We will see. BC mint state. I don't like the word, by the way. I'm thinking. BC mint state. I'm gonna do going on? I'm gonna do this. Delete it here. Blue heart emote. Nightbot. Nightbot does not know what love is. We will teach him. I will teach him tomorrow. No worries. I will teach Nightbot to love. Yeah, mint state hash. So I'm going to use the, not quite sure if it's the right approach, but I'm using, what's going on? I'm using the same hash. I'm basically using the transaction hash as the identifier of the mint or the collection, which actually makes a lot of sense to do. It makes sense. Mint state hash is going to be this mint st, right? It's going to be NT. Yes. All right. Let's see, guys and girls. Oh man, what's going on? Create a new NFT collection, yes. Created a new mint. Well, something is working and something is breaking. Uncoded unsigned integer. Out of range. Well, oh, I know what I think what it is. Are we creating too many transactions? That could be. We never battle tested this this chain. That's a fact. We never battle tested this. Take sender ticker. I'm gonna take a second, not gonna lie. Second. Man, please. All right. Unexpected on a file. Okay, so we have an issue, that's for sure. It's working and it's not working. Where is our mint? Our collection. Created a new NFT collection. Each node is creating its collection. That's good. And then we are creating mints. Executing code. I'm gonna delete where is executing code because it annoys me and not insane. Executing code. Where is execute? This one. Here you need to be. Okay. Yeah, so we have some issues with the GOP encoding, but it's working. That's a good thing. And it seems that we are minting 5 NFTs in each block, which makes sense because we're sending 1 transaction a second with the TX sender. So we're basically sending 5 transactions in 5 seconds, which is exactly our block time. So it's 5 minutes in 1 block. Whew. If that makes sense. So yeah, I cleared it. What's going on? What could be wrong with this encoding thing? That's a good question. What could be wrong? If we have data inside execute, yeah. Collection. We don't use a mutex. Do we need a different mutex? That's the question. Unlock. It's BC. So we're gonna lock this thing. We're gonna defer BC lock unlock. It's not gonna solve it, but it's something we need to do. Why is it so slow? It's the lock. The lock is literally blocking the whole thing. And that's what you get if you use one mutex for a whole series of maps. State lock. Where was I? Here. State lock, yeah. State lock. It's going to be this. I can already see it's going to be the same. It's not. GOP type mismatch in decoder. One struct type network message got non-struct. But the good news is that we can create collections and we can mint NFTs into that collection. That's the good news. So that's already working. And we can specify metadata. The next types of transactions we need to do is actually like an auction TX and maybe a bid TX. What I mean by an auction TX is, for example, if I am an owner of an NFT, we also need to find a way to send them. Because if I'm an owner of an NFT, and I actually don't know what I want to see anymore, because I'm already too many steps ahead in my brain. Yeah, what I want to say, if I'm an owner of an NFT and I want to sell it, I could notify the blockchain, or I could basically create an auction TX where that sets the NFT open for sale, if that makes sense. So we notify the blockchain that NFT can be sold for the amount we specify or something like that. And we can make that auction mechanics as complicated as we want. But I'm thinking about the problem we have with this encoding. Wait, this green thing. Get it out of here. Maybe you're wait, let me check. So we have this meta buff, that's all fine. We encode. These are panics, right? So that's not the case. That's not the case because we are not panicking. Eh? It's an Rpc error, right? Rpc error. Wait, I'm retarded. Rpc error. Server name. Where is it? How do you search in this thing? Here. Rpc error. Boom. So we have this RPC channel, we decode this thing. What are we sending? Encoding, maybe? No, it's not encoding. It's RPC. Where do we do these things? Here. fmt printf. We're gonna say verbose new line message payload. It's a reader, I guess. Oh my goodness, that's the worst thing we can have. Oh man, this RPC is a reader, right? RPC, it's a reader, so it's not a byte, so we can read. Yeah, that's true. No, we cannot read because it's already been read. Well, something is the problem is we're decoding this RPC message, which is the first entry that will happen when we receive messages from other nodes. It's willing to decode this into a message object. But it can't. So somebody is sending, we are sending somewhere in the code something that cannot be. It could also be, I don't know. We didn't have this error before, right? This just happened right now. Right? It just happened right now. Okay, let me see. Maybe we can see something. Maybe we can see something. Or maybe we're sending two messages at the same time and there is no, I don't know. Could be a lot of things. And it basically happens when this late node is coming up. That's all good. That's all good. We received a status message. I think I know what's going on. We received this get block message here, and then we say boom. Right? Bad data. Sam, Uncle Sam. What is up, man? How is your day, night, morning? How are you? What is going on? Tell me everything about it. What the hell? I'm beating up my own mic. Once again. Bad data. I will teach only Golang. That's a weird sentence, but I will assume that you wanna say that if I teach only Golang. No, not at all. I'm just trying a little bit things out and see what people wanna. I feel better for funding your channel. Thank you, man. I'm trying some stuff out. Right now it's Golang. Whitner MC, hey ho, what's up? But we're gonna do some Solidity, a lot of Solidity if you guys want. We're gonna do some quant trading. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of stuff. Whatever you guys want to see, I'm gonna provide, right? Maybe I was thinking, actually, I was talking with somebody today, our boy Interstellar. I think he's already sleeping, but it's all good. Maybe we should build a DEX in Solidity, like a Uniswap clone or something. I don't know. We can build whatever we want, right? It's just a matter. You say and I deliver, right? It's just a finger knip, a finger flip away. Maxi Morais. Hello, man. Thank you for your insane content. Hey, the pleasure is mine. Thank you for being here. What do you think about Substrate? Polkadot, good. Substrate, Polkadot, muy bien. Muy bien. Rust, also very good. I worked for ChainSafe, where I was porting the Polkadot hosting Golang. So I know a little bit of that stuff. Yes. Yeah. So we are actually, right now, for the people that just joined in, I don't know, because I think YouTube and its streaming stuff, it's hard to see who joined and such, but we are building actually a blockchain from scratch in Golang, which you probably already know. But right now we are building on top of that NFTs as native citizens. And we can already create collections, and we can already create mint NFTs into that collection. But for some reason, we have an issue that just pops up out of nowhere. GOP encoding, so we probably messed something up, but that's okay. That's all right. Part of the job. So we're creating this NFT collection, we are minting, and then suddenly this late node comes up. Oh, it's all good. Suddenly, failed to decode. Duplicate type received. So something is completely broken, right? It's completely broken. Let's say that, because each time I boot this up, I get a different error. And the question is, should I debug this right now, or should I just wrap it up? Because I'm already online for 2 hours, and coding 2 hours and talking and stuff it's insane, not gonna lie. It's insane. We can debug that in another session. Are there any more questions? Do you want to hang out a little bit more? Just ask me anything and I will provide you with the truth and only the truth. How many years are you doing writing code? How many years? That's a good question. Let me take the complete truth. I will show you. I will show you. I was already programming, of course, before I used GitHub, but this I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Professionally, but really professionally, I think 10 or 11 years as a real professional software engineer. But I was coding from way when I was younger, right? I was a gamer. I was a real OG Counter-Strike player, and we created clan websites in PHP back in the days. We are renting servers, and we rented one server and we installed Counter-Strike servers on it, and then we rented that out to other clients. Yes, and we were 16 years old. We were little rats, already scamming people since we were 16. No, we were not scamming. We were just renting things out. And that's basically the way how I came into programming. And first it was PHP for a very long time. PHP, Drupal, Magento, all this bullshit, right? WordPress, blah. And that was Node.js, you know, Node.js. Node.js, when there was no async await didn't exist. So you needed to do everything in these closures, and ay. Caraca. It was a mad world. It was a mad world, I'm not gonna lie. And right now everything is easy, right? You have these nice async await, you have TypeScript, you have, oh boy, this is, what a time to be alive as a software engineer. Oh, it's crazy. Now we have Golang, we have Rust, we have all this amazing stuff. Yeah, Magento, please. That was the worst thing of my life. Magento, man. I remember that. I need to make these web shops. Oh boy. Damn. Oh, I hated that so much. Yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Belgium. Belgium's finest. Yes. Which programming language you advise for 29-year-old men? Depends on what you want to be. Uncle Sam. I'm going to call you Uncle Sam instead of Sam Uncle. Depends on what you want to be. If you want to be a front-end developer, I would recommend JavaScript. If you want to be a full-stack developer, I also recommend JavaScript, because then you can write the front-end and the back-end in the same language. If you want to become a data engineer, machine learning, data analyst, artificial intelligence, you should learn Python. If you want to program distributed backends, microservices, things in the cloud, DevOps stuff, API servers, then you should use Golang. If you want to program games, you should learn C++ or Lua. He is from Belgium. Yeah, that's correct. Belgica, from Belgium. The smallest country. No, it's not the smallest country in the world, but it's very small. It is. Very small and very, I don't know. I actually don't read the news. I don't go outside. I'm a man of the internet. I'm the man of the world. I'm from France. Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien? Ça va bien, monsieur? Ça roule? Beau gosse. I speak all languages, man. I speak the language of love, French, English. I speak a lot of languages. I'm so curious about this error, actually. Why can it actually happen? Suddenly. We probably fucked it up somewhere, not gonna lie. I will debug it a little bit. My brain is already drained. Like, my focus mode is gone, right? Tip I'm gonna give you: never code for more than 4 hours straight. That's why working for a company in tech, if you have bad managers, they don't know, they have no clue what's going on, they have low IQ, and they want you to code for 8 hours straight. That's impossible. It's already impossible to code for 4 hours straight, to be honest. It doesn't work like that. We are creative people, right? Engineering is software engineering is not about your programming language. Software engineering is about solving problems, and we use languages as a tool to do that, right? If you want to climb a tree, you use a ladder or a rope, whatever you want to use, whatever you're most comfortable with. It's a creative process and it hurts your brain. So after 3 hours, your full focus is completely gone. And people say that it's not true. They are, I don't know. Some people can focus for a longer time. Of course, some people are distracted much more easier. I understand. But I think 4 hours is a good way. You code for 4 hours. That's the first 4 hours of your coding session is going to be your deep, concentrated work. Hard problems. You're going to solve that in these 4 hours. And every hour after is going to be your small issues. Your, some little here, some little there. Not too... Because your brain is already... Go is good for newbies. Yes. Go is easy. Go is easy. Go is easy because... Why is it easy? I will show you. For example, let me close. What's going on here? Close, 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 close. Let's make a new function. The only thing you need to do is make a function main. Open it up, and then you can do anything what you want. The world is yours. Go is simple. It's very simple. Assigning variables. It is a typed language, as you know, probably. But assigning variables is type inferred. So you can do, for example, A is 10, B is 20, right? String is going to be something, right? Easy peasy. But you could also do var c is 22 or something. But you need to say, I don't even know how it works, to be honest. You see, I don't even know how it works. You don't use it, you do this. Easy. I think it should work, to be honest. What is this? Var c 20. Yeah, it's because we don't use it, right? That's because we don't use that variable. You could do, and the compiler is happy. If you know any language, to be honest, you can write Go. It's that easy. It's that easy, guys. Don't worry about it. And if you watch a lot of my streams or videos, you will become a god. Okay. Let's do 1 minute more for questions, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm hungry. I'm going to do some little accountant stuff. How do you say that? A little bookkeeping stuff. And then I'm going to my bed watching some StarCraft 2. What do you think? Twitch. What's your favorite language? Programming language, I assume. Yeah, I thought so. Well, I think Go is my favorite programming language, man. And it's not because I can write a lot of programming languages. I'm not gonna lie. I can literally write a lot of programming languages. But my mic is full of dust. I need to clean it up. But Go is just, it's easy. It has a good standard library. That's very important. I can write stuff and I don't need to install packages all the fucking time. If you go to JavaScript, right? If you do JavaScript, you need to import all these packages, man. It's npm install. It's insane. It's in Golang. You don't need to do that. You can do whatever. You can create so much stuff without using packages, and everybody can read it. It's important. Everybody can read it. If you write code and you take somebody else from another division and he reads it, he can understand what it means. Instead, if you use Rust or Python or even JavaScript and you see these people doing crazy shenanigans with their code, because you can do a lot of things in a way different ways in other languages, and in Golang you can't. There is almost only one way to write something. And in Rust and in JavaScript and in Python you can do these crazy one-liners and nobody understands. Even I don't understand it. And in Golang everything is easy to read, and that's important, right? You have a problem and you want to solve it as quick as possible because time is money. bookkeeping or doing the accounts. Actually, none of those, Jared. It's just I cannot. Some little administration, like putting a description on the stream, making sure I check the Discord messages, check the Twitter, those things. Putting the tags, maybe check my title, check the thumbnail, because if the thumbnail isn't good enough, people won't click it, you know, all these things. And then I go to sleep watching some StarCraft 2. I don't play StarCraft 2, but I just fall asleep. It's my Bob Ross replacement. It's my Bob Ross replacement. Sleep therapy. Your channel will grow in less time. You are an amazing person. Thank you so much. I hope it will grow. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I hope it will grow. I want to spread the word to a lot of people. That's my mission, man. That's my mission. Tidying up loose ends. That's good. That's good. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's a nice tidying up loose ends. I'm gonna remember that. That's a good thing to put in my vocabulary. Yes. But I'm not gonna lie, YouTube, guys, it's very hard. It's insanely hard, man. I need to fight literally for every subscriber, or literally fight. Literally, it is. It's crazy. And now I understand why a lot of people are trying to do YouTube. They're trying to do content creation. They're trying to stream, but they will give up very, very easy. And I understand them. But I'm not, like I said, quitting. I don't know that's word. When I'm gonna go, I keep going, right? I wake up and I do things. I just do the things, even though I don't like them. I just do it. You know, to the gym, yeah, each and every single day. Each and every single day, guys. Even though I'm injured basically in all my body parts, but I'm still keep going. All right, thanks for watching. It was an amazing stream, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my longest. Dickensas. Here for the NFT coding alpha. Yo, you're too late, but no worries, this video is gonna be saved. You have 2 hours of goodness. How we create an NFT from scratch in Golang. Well, basically we are creating a blockchain, which we are already did for a long time now, from scratch in Golang. And now we are building our NFT marketplace on top of that as native citizens. So instead of using a smart contract or a virtual machine to process the auctions and to process the minting, we are building that natively into our blockchain with transactions. And it's actually working. Let me quickly make a run and let me show you that it's working, but we have a little issue in our network, but don't worry about it. We're gonna fix that. So we can create a collection and we can mint NFTs into it. It's getting distributed across our nodes, all good. But we have a little TCP error, GOP encoding error. We will fix that later on. But you can watch the replay whenever you want. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. If you want to know, for the people that don't know, if you want to know more, if you want to learn, join the Discord channel, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, all that shenanigans. I know you know. So I see you in the next